What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 4 of the All Elite Wrestling Podcast, right here live on YouTube, youtube.com/NHBWR, and we are right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all WWE, NXT, NXT UK wrestling coverage, and now all news and sources about the All Elite Wrestling brand. Guys, you can follow the network on Twitter at NHB Network. Make sure you go give that a follow. You can also follow the show on Twitter at All Elite Pod. You can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters, and you can follow my co-host at Loves to Dream 2 on Twitter. Make sure you go subscribe, guys, youtube.com/NHBWR, and hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon for all upload updates. Lets you know when we're going live, and you can listen to all previous episodes of the podcast. If you like to listen to us on the go, we are available to listen to on Spreaker.com/NHBWP, also on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. I'm your host, as always, of the All Elite Podcast, your self-proclaimed greatest host and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, the beautiful, lovely Tiffany at Loves to Dream on Twitter. Tiffany, how's it going today?
What is going on? How are you?
Hey, I'm okay. Okay, we had a really good episode last time, and this has been it just seems like the news just keeps getting better and better as the days go on with this, and now we've got to touch base on some WWE news of what's going on with a couple of wrestlers there, and we also got some news on an All Elite sighting that happened last night. So
yes.
It's exciting.
Before we go into anything, if you guys haven't already, make sure you follow us on Twitter at All Elite Pod, and also make sure we just started a Facebook page.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to do that.
Make sure you search for All Elite Podcast. So
on Facebook, we are now on Facebook. Huge news.
We're making moves. We're changing the universe.
We've made the jump to Facebook. Oh my God, it's official. We're Facebook official. Just saying. You haven't made it anywhere until you're Facebook official. Now we're Facebook official.
Yep. Even you're not in a relationship unless you're Facebook official. Just saying.
And now this podcast is officially in a relationship with all of you out there on Facebook.
Yeah, so make sure you go like the page.
It's not complicated. It's not the little it's complicated shit either. Who does that? Whoever puts it's complicated. Why is that even an option?
People are complicated? I don't know.
Is that for the adults?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm an adult. I don't know.
The older generation. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's complicated. That's an episode for That Ass Podcast. So
yeah,
whatever.
That's another podcast.
We'll do that another day or whatever like that. So.
But with All Elite Podcast now being on Facebook, guys, it's not complicated. It's easy. All you have to do is go over, hit and like us on that page, and follow us. All podcasts will be posted on there. We'll do some discussions. You guys want to ask a question, you can always post it on our Facebook page now as well, rather than DMing us. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you look down below, you see that little yellow bar there. You can actually call into the show now. We figured it out. On how to, you can just call us whenever you want into the show while we are live on the air on YouTube, and you can discuss anything you want to talk to us about with All Elite Wrestling, or just some general wrestling questions too. We'll take anything, but mainly, we want to focus on All Elite because that's the base of this podcast. So if you're listening to us on the go, we now have a call-in number, so you might want to check us out on YouTube when we are live to be able to call into the show. If not, thank you for listening to us on the go as well. That's always appreciated and helps. We've me and Tiffany kind of went over our analytics of where a lot of our wrestling or whatever our listeners are listening on the go. Mostly it is iTunes. So to all you iTunes listeners out there, thank you for your continued support right here, especially on the No Holds Barred Network. But already in episode 4, and it's been what, a week?
It's only been a week. We're trying to cover as much. Every time we find something, we're trying to cover it. So even if it's a short, we're trying to give you the news that we're finding. So, and if you guys hear anything, let us know. We'll report it on the next episode. And drop your comments in the chat as well.
Speaking of the chat, last episode I couldn't see for some reason. I don't know if it's my YouTube dashboard for some reason. Obviously, it's always me anyways. I couldn't see anything in the chat. I had to pull it up on my phone to see what was going on in the chat because my dashboard wasn't giving me updates of what was going on. So I'm hoping that
I have my eye on the chat.
Oops.
So
See,
if anything, I got it. So we'll see. And like I said, also leave comments below if you're watching this at a later time. So Kyle, what do you want to start at? Do you want to start about like the releases? Like what do you want to
live?
About?
This is a live show. I got to do something.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm human. I blow my nose.
You need like a cough button, a sneeze button, a blow your nose
like a mute button. Anyways, hey, it's wintertime, man. It's gonna happen. Up here, especially up here in Canada, as you can see in my background, my big Canadian flag up there. I kind of changed the background now of my studio here, so I got my Canadian flag there. Very, very proud Canadian. If you guys don't know, home of the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. He is the Bret, the Hitman Hart.
Me and Kyle might be going to go see him at WrestleCon.
I hope so. Before we get anywhere, and as you guys can see the title of the video, having to do with Mike Kanellis and the Revival, so we're going to touch base on that and some potential other news with All Elite Wrestling. Before we go anywhere, got to get the sponsors out of the way. This is important to us. So number one is if you're watching, you have it right on the screen there. It's Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand, guys. Go check them out. You can see the pictures there. I've updated of what they offer. So we got Kevin Nash supporting a very, very tight shirt. We got Eugene, former WWE wrestler Eugene from the Ruthless Aggression era. He is supporting a pro wrestling collar and elbow shirt. Jake the Snake Roberts, and then I don't know who the girl is, but I thought that was a fine picture to pick there. So there's even stuff for women out there on this collar and elbow wrestling brand. So you're gonna want to use the code JUMBO JUMBO on checkout, and you're going to save 10%, and that is provided by our good fan of the podcast, Jimmy. So thank you for that code for letting us use. So save 10% in your order. Use the code JUMBO on checkout. Also, guys, Pro Wrestling Tees is where you're going to find a lot of the AEW merch. We are not getting paid for this advertisement in any way, so buying stuff does not support the podcast. We just like to promote it because you're going to want to rock that AEW merch when this thing pops off. Look at all those shirts they got. They got Cody Rhodes t-shirt. They got a Brandy Chief Officer t-shirt. AEW is Jericho. I'm loving the hoodies. I looked at the hoodies more, I guess, yesterday, and I'm digging those hoodies, Tiff. I'm definitely going to be ordering.
I know. I'm loving the zip-up hoodie. I really want the zip-up hoodie, and I've been actually thinking about the beanie.
Oh, so the beanie. Well, in my country, we say toque. So if you're Canadian, it's a toque she's talking about. I'm probably going to get the snapback hat because I'm all about snapbacks. And then Bernard the Bear, who joined us on last episode 3, guys. Go check that out. Episode number 3. We did a full interview, hour-long interview with Bernard the Bear, Business Bear. He's got a t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, so go support him and buy his t-shirt as well. That is a hilarious t-shirt. I might actually buy that as well. Actually, what am I saying? I am going to buy that t-shirt from Bernard the Bear.
They need some like low cut V-neck shirt. I'm sorry, like I feel stuff. These are like guy shirts, and like I want some women's shirts here, like So hopefully we'll see more of some stuff. What's up, Cupid Girl in the chat? How are you? And please, guys, you can retweet us out. We get some peeps in here.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Lastly, got to go over the network sponsor. ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com, guys. They specialize in pro wrestling and MMA apparel with over 50,000 t-shirts, sweatshirts, costumes, DVDs, pendants in stock. And just because of our network, guys, you can use the promo code NOHOLDS at checkout, and you're going to save yourself 10%, and one lucky fan per month with the code will receive a free gift along with their order from ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. Guys, yes, a perfect 10% off your order, so you're going to want to go check them out, guys. The official sponsor of the network and the All Elite podcast. So now we're back here on YouTube. You can see us now. We've got all our network and ads out of the way. Just jump into it, and I don't know, what do you want to talk about first, Tiff?
You want to talk about the releases? Let's talk about some of the releases, and then we'll go into the Elite.
Well, not official yet. So the main one is obviously the Revival, one of the greatest tag team of NXT. The amount of matches of the years they've had in NXT were amazing, and then I knew it. It happens with a lot of NXT talent that get the jump over to the main roster, don't get used properly, and I'm already scared for the current ones right now. It doesn't look good for a lot of them, but the Revival have asked for the release from their WWE contracts. I don't know how long they have on their deals left. I imagine they still have a long ways to go until they're expired, but they're asking to be out. I mean, like they've been the most misused tag team since being called up as well. And these guys, if you've seen their matches in NXT, and if you haven't, I suggest you go and watch their matches with American Alpha, DIY when they were together. They just had instant classics, and they are the reasons why these matches were really good, because they basically put those people over, or they won a lot of those matches, and they were one of the most dominant teams in NXT. And the fact that they have done nothing since being called to the main roster is sad, and I think they're just sick and tired of it. And to be real here, I honestly have an opinion here. I think as much as the WWE is probably not going to want them to go because they're scared, WWE is scared of AEW. Like if all signs are pointing towards them being scared of AEW, it's happening right now instantly, because they're pushing Finn Balor out of nowhere. They're pushing all these other guys that haven't been pushed in over a year since they've been called up all of a sudden now. There's got to be a reason behind that. It is complete bullshit if you want to sit there and think it's not because of All Elite Wrestling. But they're going to try their best to hold on to the Revival. They're not going to let them go. I doubt they're going to grant them the release. I predict them pulling a CM Punk or Neville and kind of just walking away until their contracts are done. Obviously, they can't wrestle when they walk away from the WWE, so they're going to definitely pull like a Neville and just, sit out.
Yeah.
It's very touchy.
Well, I saw, and I don't know, like if you guys like follow on Twitter and stuff like that, December 3rd of 2018, there was a whole bunch of tweets that went out. One was by Matt writing, "One day we'll wrestle the Revival and everyone will rejoice. Remember this tweet." Same day, Dash wrote the same thing as well. "One day we'll wrestle the Young Bucks and everybody will rejoice. Remember this tweet." And same day, Scott Dawson retweeted Matt's tweet, and he just put a clock emoji. So this has been building for a while. I mean, shit, take my money. I want to watch it. Yeah. I want to see this. Just take my money. I need to see this. I think this would be great. Absolutely amazing. So, wasn't there something also, Kyle, like or anybody in the chat? I think there was something with the FTR.
Yeah. So this past week they had the word FTR on their tights, and this is not planted by WWE. This is not. They know what that means. Don't everyone that's playing stupid go, "Oh, they don't know what that means." That's okay. They're allowed to wear whatever they want. No, they know. They know. WWE keeps an eye on the indies. You can't say they're oblivious to what's going on out there. And it's something that was started by the Elite. It was fuck the Revival. If you were a fan of being the Elite and you were a fan of watching that show, you know that fuck the Elite came from that show. What did the Revival do this week? And it's coincidence that the day after they say they want the release from the WWE, they have fuck the Revival in their tights. Well, they're saying it was originally came from the Revival. It was for the Revival, I'm pretty sure. So, now it's fuck the Revival. And, it's a little... I don't know how else to say that. It's gutty. It's gutty for one.
Yeah.
And for two, how does this not show that they're sick and tired of WWE shit and they want out?
Such a shame.
It is a shame.
It's being used like terrible. Yeah, hashtag free the Revival.
Free
like,
the
please,
Revival.
Just free. It's such a shame, and it's like I wonder what goes through Triple H's head through all this. It's like he built a lot of these people and stuff, and for them
pissed. I guarantee you, he's mad. He's bad. He's sitting there going like he's shaking his head, but he can't do anything when Vince is still in charge. He's the ultimate boss. As much as Triple H is going to have a word in with all of this, it's all going to come down to Vince's decision. So I'm sure he's mad there, but he kind of has to stay in the corporate line if he's going to one day be. I think he knows that he's going to have full control. If it was not already said to him by Vince that once Vince steps away, he's going to have full control. So he's got to do his best to just kind of stay in line.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Also, Mike and Maria Kanellis asked for leave just as well.
Here's the thing with Mike Kanellis. He was never properly used ever at all, and he was one of the people that which it doesn't happen a lot, that bypassed NXT when he signed with the WWE. I think that was a huge mistake. I agree with a lot of other podcasts out there, mainly our boy JD. I agree with him that not going to NXT was a huge mistake, and I think his decision to sign with WWE at that point when he did was a massive mistake, because I don't think he was ready for it either. I listened to JD's podcast, and I agree with what he said. Mike wasn't ready for what he got and what he got himself into in the WWE. And for the fact to skip over NXT and head over to the main roster, he was getting buried into his coffin since day one. And now he's on 205 Live, and no one knows about him, and he's wasting away on 205 Live. I guess his first appearance on 205 Live was a video promo. He wasn't even in a match. And that's sad, because I do agree that Mike Kanellis is a good wrestler. He's a decent wrestler. He just, it's sad. It came during a time where when he did sign with the WWE until now, they had a baby in between then. Mike went to rehab again because of his drug issues, so clearly he's not fully capable. And there's a reason why WWE hasn't pushed him. That's got to factor in with it. Yeah, he went and got himself help and stuff, and WWE respects that, but him having to go to rehab to fix himself is going to be an ultimate decision by WWE not to push him in any way, because they don't want that affiliated with their TV. So, it's a shame. I'm glad that they're getting a release. They don't belong in WWE at all. So hopefully he can do something good with AEW. If not, you're going to have to...
Yeah, there wasn't even really much. They debuted June 18, 2017. So, what have they done? So Maria was in Evolution. I was there. So
she came back at a wrong time too, because the audience that we're watching now have no idea who the fuck Maria Kanellis is.
Yeah.
They have no idea who that was. They had to literally go back in the network or search up old YouTube videos and like, oh yeah, I heard she was a Diva Search contestant. She really didn't do much during that era. She was just eye candy during that era as well. She played a stupid dumb reporter, like WWE backstage reporter, after the Diva Search was done. Her accolades didn't really accomplish too much while she isn't back in WWE. She got her name well known in the Indies by being with Mike and being in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, And
didn't Maria went on, as she got a 3-month maternity leave, and also didn't Mike go through didn't WWE pay for his drug rehab? He looks amazing. So. He looks amazing.
Man, he got in good shape. He definitely went on that gender program. Well, quote unquote, what he calls it, the gender cut. No, gender was on something else. I'm not saying Mike Kanellis was on, the gender juice. But no, he looks like he's. I think it's got to be the what's it called, that no carb diet. The one that you literally cut every single carb out, and it literally cuts you down to shape. And obviously you're gonna need to work out like mad crazy during that. He's probably doing some
the keto.
Yeah, the keto diet. Yeah. I could never do that.
Can't do that.
I've seen what you have to do for that diet. I'm like, absolutely not.
No, I am half Sicilian, half Puerto Rican. I need my rice. I need my pasta. I'm sorry.
I have pasta before hockey all the time. I can't cut that out. That's like my thing. I have to have it 3 hours before a game. I don't have anything else before a game but pasta. Maybe I'll add chicken breast. But no, I fuck the keto diet. Who has time for that? You have the money for that too. Eating health. I'm getting to off topic here, but yeah, but good for Mike for looking great in the best shape of his life. So, he doesn't belong in WWE. Plain and simple. He had his time. They didn't really care about him. You know what I mean?
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So hopefully it'll be nice to see if they go over to AEW. So, and then the last one that I found online, monster whose diet is this? Dolph Ziggler. His contract ends the 31st of this month.
His contract ends this month?
Yes.
Holy moly.
And his comedy tour is starting the 27th of January. So he'll still participate in Royal Rumble. But he's more that he wants to do more of his comedy routines.
So I wonder if he's going to sign back with WWE. I don't think his comedy tour is sanctioned by WWE. I think it's like McFoley's. because Mick Foley has a comedy tour and it's not sanctioned by WWE. So if that's right, maybe I think we would have heard by now if he would have re-signed, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the people that we brought up in our top 5 who we think are going to make the jump was Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler would be huge for AEW. The amount of matches that guy could have while not being held back in AEW, take my fucking money. Just against Neville, against Chris Jericho, like a Chris Jericho and Ziggler match, not in WWE, it would sell a lot. Just for the fact of people wanting to see 2 WWE guys go at it, not in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
Then him against Cody Rhodes would have good matches. Him against Kenny Omega if he ended up signing with AEW, or Marty Scurll. Like that list goes on and on and on and on with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is an exceptional piece of talent, and if AEW can get their hands on Dolph Ziggler, holy crap, you know it's going to start popping off, because Ziggler is probably going to be one of their main guys. So I really, really hope he gets signed with that. And even if he wants to do his comedy tour until then, maybe do it up until was it Double or Nothing in May? There you go.
I mean, that's fine. He added more tour dates, I had read. So Kyle just told me before the podcast that he's actually going to one.
One in Phoenix.
Let us know how that is.
It's right after the Rumble. It's like we have to go there right after the Rumble. So,
wow.
Actually, speaking of the Rumble, original tickets that I had, me and my buddy Phil, they were in the 300s. So we paid $32 US for each one, which Canadian is some stupid ridiculous. We saw that the website for Talking Stick Arena, the Chase Field was advertising a 2-for-1 deal, but I guess we got there too late. It didn't work. So I'm like, whatever. Let me go and look and see what the tickets are actually going for. Originally, the 100 level tickets were going from anywhere from $300 to $500 a ticket. I just sold my 300 level tickets. You know why? Because me and Phil have now moved down to the 100 level tickets for $60 US a ticket.
Oh, wow.
Ticket prices went down for the Rumble.
Wow. So are you going to wear an AEW shirt?
I don't know if I'm going to get it in time. But yeah, so now we've moved down to the 100s. And if I can do this, if I can get it quick here, I don't know if I can be able to get it. But it's literally the section all straight down from where we were. And I looked at the seat viewer. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. There's some nice seats. There's some nice seats. I was shocked. They literally went down that much. So it must not be selling good. You know what I mean? Like it's weird how they went down that much. I can understand like a couple like $50 or $100, but that's literally like almost 3/4 they went down.
Wow. Hey, maybe we'll end up at WrestleMania. Maybe we'll find a buy one get one, you and me. Like, you never know. Like,
yeah, you're right. So, you like, never know.
Maybe we'll win some. Who knows? Like you never know.
Tickets, yeah. I never win at anything. I don't win contests. That's not a me thing.
I need my friend Brian to get on it because he wins all tickets all the freaking time. So I don't know. Like I said.
No, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he gets every post on Facebook. It's like,
that's like the guy at a stag do that literally wins all the prizes. And like, how much tickets did you buy to put shit in there? Like, what the hell? Why are you winning everything?
like give me that's how I wind up seeing Fozzy the second time, because he won at a contest, and then he asked me if I wanted to go with him, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I saw Fozzy already. I'd see him a second time. Shit, I'll see him a third time. I don't really care. I always have a good time seeing Jericho.
Okay, so I actually have it here, the seating chart. Just to quickly touch base on my Rumble situation. So I'm going to switch it on for YouTube for you guys. If you guys are listening to us on the go, I apologize. But you might have to go watch the YouTube video for this part. Anyways, let me fix my mic here. It's driving me nuts. Anyways, so switch it over. So my original tickets were I think it was 328. Yeah, it was section 328 there at the top left. And we were, I think, row 20 or 30 something up. So we were pretty high. So it was section 328. And then now I'm going to give you an idea of where we are now. So if you have your finger on 328, you scroll down to the 100s directly to the right of it. Section 132.
Good for you.
We are right there. I think we're row 20 something, I believe there.
But still, that's amazing. Like $60.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So make sure you go Periscope on.
Oh, I will. Trust me, I will.
Yeah.
On the Twitter. So yeah. Anyways, back to the original topic here. We're getting off topic here. I apologize. You guys listening?
It's okay. It's
AEW.
okay.
Anyways, Mike Kanellis. Hope he ends up there. The Revival. Obviously, that's like the main focus of AEW to try to get those guys over. And it's not a coincidence why those guys would ask for their release now. Well, they see how good AEW is going to pop off. They want to get in on that. So
I just read before we went live, actually. I didn't even tell you because I saw it literally when you went live. I saw it. But if you read the Slice report, they were saying that Vince McMahon today is going to like put freezes on all the people that are asking for releases. So, I mean, I could kind of see that happening so nobody goes to AEW or that they can't sign contracts like with AEW anytime for like a certain amount of time. Now, what do you think about that?
Yeah, they're scared. They're scared. Vince is not going to fool anybody by saying like they don't pay attention to that shit. AEW is going to take over. AEW is going to be direct competition with the WWE. That is their end goal, and it's going to happen. It might not happen anytime soon, but it's going to happen. With the list of talent that are wanting to come over and that could potentially come over, I mean, even with the news today with like even a Mike Kanellis, the Revival, possibly a Dolph Ziggler, maybe even AJ Styles, but WWE is going to do whatever they can to hang on to AJ Styles. So for him to come over is going to be very, very, very tough. I can just see maybe mid-Carters transferring over, a guy like a Dolph Ziggler, a guy like a Ty Dillinger maybe. So, a few there. Somewhere there. There's probably going to be people that are scoping out, not even just from WWE. There's probably going to be people from Lucha Underground, TNA Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling. So it's going to take some time. We can't really hope and wish for everything right off the bat. But as for so far, man, it's really going to pop off. I can't wait. As for that, I think we touched, we did Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, if you guys have anything else that you want us to talk about with that, let us know.
Or if you're listening live, you want to call into the show and talk whatever you want, the number's right there in the bottom of the screen, 516-806-6035. Call into the show and talk about anything you want to talk about regarding AEW, any fantasy matchups you want to see, anyone you want to come over from the WWE, whatever you want to talk about, just call into the show.
Shall we touch base a little bit on being the elite last night?
Last night.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram and I follow a lot of these guys and they put stories up on Instagram. Marty's always posting stuff up, but Hangman Page last night. I mean, I gave Kyle a bunch of pictures so you can see them.
I'm going to transfer it there right in the screen, guys, so give me a second here. There you go.
Hangman Page posted that he was in the airport. I had no clue where he was going. He was just in an airport. I'm thinking like, oh, okay, these guys travel all the freaking time or whatever. I didn't know. And then all of a sudden there was another picture of him in his attire. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he put full gear.
Like, So SCU, Young Bucks, Cody, Brandy, who am I missing? Hangman Page. I'm sorry. They all showed up at Bar Wrestling in Los Angeles last night. So I know Joey Ryan and Hangman Page have issues in the past. I think Joey Ryan was.
They buried the hatchet?
Yeah, they buried the hatchet last night. They had issues like that Ryan revealed a while ago that he was badly beaten by Page. And then he attacked Hangman Page at All In.
Yeah, I'm going to make it bigger for you guys so you can see the big picture, the end result. You got Brandy there, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page. You got Joey Ryan way in the right. You got, what's Scorpio?
Yeah, Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky. And this was insane. Like they just showed up to this bar like unannounced. No one had no idea they were even going to be there, and they just kind of crashed the party. So
yeah, and if you look on like Twitter, I mean, you see like fans that were at this were like marking out to see this, and they were, and even Brandy posted, "You never know where we're gonna show up."
Actually, let me go back to that. This is hilarious there, Tiff. Do you see the big picture here? You see the guy in the bottom right of the screen. What does his hat say?
The villain.
He's got a villain hat on.
My man. And
then you can see, guys, a picture there from Hangman Page's Instagram of doing the whole crotch thing. A lot of people don't like that. You know, it's not their cup of tea. But yeah, the dick flip.
But apparently, this all kind of started because SCU gave an open challenge, and the Watts and Rockness, Yuma and Kevin Manderson, is that his name? That's what started all of this last night. And we had the Young Bucks came out, super kick, and Brandy hit the bionic spear on Yuma.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, I saw that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cody Rhodes did like a flip out of the ring. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was super kick party at Eric Watts. And Hangman Page and Joey Ryan gave the dick flip. And also there was another thing too. I don't know if you saw this, but there was issues. Like, I don't know too much of details because I wasn't watching back then, with the ref, Rich Knox. I don't know if you know anything about this but they've had issues in the past. And like I saw like a video before that Rich Knox like pushed like, Matt and Nick were going for, I guess, the tag team titles in a ladder match, and he pushed them off the ladder. So Matt went to go shake his hand yesterday, and then I saw a tweet that Matt asked if he wants to come and ref for AEW.
Oh.
So we might have a ref on board.
I can see them doing like celebrity refs, like maybe my boy Jimmy Cordeira's former SmackDown ref will go over and do a match or two. I can see that happening. Yeah, like I'm not really knowledgeable in that situation with the ref, but okay, sure.
Yeah,
why
so
not?
He put a tweet
Come
out
on
too.
down.
He's like, I guess we're friends. now.
Get in the bus. I do want to go. I do have the chat open now. I want to touch base in the chat. Ray asked in the chat, talk about the potential of John Cena jumping ship to AEW and turning heel just like Hogan did back in the day. Whoa, okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's actually legit rumored news or whatever, but holy crap, would that send shockwaves through the entire wrestling community. But as much as I love your thinking there, and if this is potential news, I don't see it happening. John Cena is probably the most loyal person to Vince McMahon currently in the WWE.
Yeah.
John Cena would not leave. They even had that little promo on Monday Night Raw saying, like, I never left. Like, Rock, when he came here, he left. So Austin, when he was here, he left. Brock, when he was here, he left. I stayed. And, like, as much as that's kind of iffy because he kind of just left recently to do a couple of movies. But, you know, Cena has been the most loyal person to Vince McMahon since, like, another guy would probably be The Undertaker. But anyways, that's a whole different thing with Cena and The Undertaker. But I can't see it happening. As much as that would be huge, and John Cena pulling a Hulk Hogan going over there would have to have been some fight between John Cena and Vince McMahon for him to do that. And because Cena's basically at the end of his career, towards he's kind of mostly part-time now, no, I think if it did happen, it would be a whole conspiracy. Like, this whole thing would be Vince McMahon would be in cahoots with AEW, and I really highly doubt that's even happening. So as much as I love that, I absolutely love that, won't happen.
I would love to see beat up John Cena again. Like, for real. Like, come on, Gallo and Carl Anderson. Come on over with AJ Styles and beat up John Cena. I would love it. Oh, look, we got Corporate Cappy in the chat.
Oh, look who it is. Corporate Cappy, the host of the new Retro Show, guys, on the network that's going to be debuting actually tonight. You guys want to go check that out. If you're a fan of the whole Attitude Era, the Golden Age era, these guys are going to be touching base on a lot of Raw reviews and pay-per reviews from that era. They debut tonight, so go check them out. Lowdown Show Retro is their Twitter handle and their Twitter page. Go give them a follow and make sure you check out the live show tonight. That's going to happen on Spreaker.com/NHBWP. So guys, don't want to miss that. They're going to do a lot of good stuff with that retro show. So what's going on, Cappy? I don't know if I want to read what he just typed though.
That's a live show.
It is a live show. I don't know if what he's typed just now is I can see it happening maybe because like just to get like views, but like he says the E in AEW is for Ellsworth. Ellsworth for hire. Justice for Ellsworth. Ellsworth equals ratings.
I don't know. Guess we'll see. Oy, I don't know. I don't really care to see him or not. I could give or take.
As for John Cena, that'd be sick. That would be insane. You know you would get a lot of views for AEW if that happened, but he ain't going anywhere. He's so loyal to Vince McMahon. Not happening. But that would be interesting. The only guy who could see something like that happening would probably be like a Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins if something were to happen with them. You know, someone newer than John Cena that's come from this kind of era that makes the big jump. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else or anybody else. But yeah, it would probably be a Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose to make that kind of wave, sort of similar to what Hogan did with WCW and WWF back in the day. But that's cool. That's interesting. John Cena doing that and becoming like Hollywood John Cena. I mean, that'd be hilarious. And he can't be a heel. We've never seen Cena as a heel since his Thugonomics days. So it's tough. It's tough, but that would be funny. Good question. Where Jay was a J Rocket or
J Ray.
J Ray. Good question. Other than that,
I have no more other.
I found something.
Oh, okay.
So it's from Cody Rhodes, and I guess he says that AEW won't be hiring any writers and won't micromanage talent, according to the All Elite Wrestling camp. I guess Vice President Cody Rhodes spoke with SEScoops.com earlier this week, divulging a number of new details on the upcoming company, like potentially ranking system based on wins and losses, and now the revelation that they won't be hiring a WWE-style writing team. So according to the former IWGP United States champion, Cody Rhodes says such resources are potentially available to AEW, but they want to learn into what they did with All In. That means him and the Young Bucks keeping everything in-house, granting creative freedom to the talent because, in his words, the wrestlers are the writers. Cody went on to say that he knew 40 writers when he was in WWE. 40! But only about 4 of them actually did anything.
Oh, wow. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh, man. I guess...
Didn't they also say it was about, who was it, Jericho? Who was it, or Cody was it that said that it was about the fans as well?
Mm-hmm. I think Cody and Young Bucks said that, but it also says Vince McMahon's stuffed writing room is a common complaint, particularly among former backstage employees, and is regularly cited as a big reason behind the promotion's creative molasses. I don't know how that word is. Anyways, there's no guarantee that AEW's approach will yield more satisfying storylines, but it harks back to how things were done during wrestling boom's period. Differentiating the new company from how WWE operates is smart, though, and suggests AEW will truly be an alternative rather than a copycat. So, to get the gist of all that, no writers, wrestlers get the full creative freedom to do whatever they want, but everything is still organized where everyone is in the room at the same time, organizing of what's going to happen, who's doing, you know what I mean? There's no writers writing storylines or anything. So, and it says like it could be a ranking-based system with wins and losses. So I'm liking that. I'm all for that. I'm loving that they're going to be giving a lot of creative freedom. That just goes to show you that a lot of the wrestlers that get held back in the WWE that come over to AEW, we're going to see a lot more out of them. They're going to be given the creative freedom to do whatever they want in their matches. So, I mean, we saw how All In, and they compared it to All In there, and how successful that was, and how all the matches were good, and everything went well. That's what they're taking from that, and they're going to apply it into AEW, and I'm loving that. And it's different. And that's what their main goal is, to be an alternative to WWE. They don't want to be the same wrestling company, two same things going head to head. That's basically kind of what WCW was. WCW wasn't an alternative. It was a competing wrestling brand going against the WWF. So this is going to be good in a sense
Kyle.
that I'm sorry. Yes?
No, you were cutting in and out.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I think it's Skype. It's
Oh, okay.
anyways. So yeah, it's going to be an alternative basically to what the WWE is. So that's good. They want to stay different. All for that. They're going to be giving the wrestlers creative freedom. That's amazing, and that's the thing you need to do right now if you're going to be a successful wrestling company. You got to be an alternative to watch than WWE. So I like that. Love that. But man, 40 writers.
That's a lot. Michael said 39 writers booking Reigns and 1 writer booking Charlotte.
I'm going to say that's pretty accurate.
J. Raven had another question. What about AEW paying Stone Cold to make an appearance at a future event?
Yes and no. Again, I don't know what his legend contract situation is with the WWE. I don't know what his relationship with Vince right now is about him showing up anywhere else. I mean, have you actually seen Stone Cold appear anywhere else besides the WWE? No, yeah. Right? Like it'd be a good draw. It's something that they're looking at. They're looking at obviously big name talents from the WWE and other places that are going to be a draw. That's why there was the whole rumors and them going after Goldberg. He's done with the WWE. His contract's done. He doesn't have one with them. That's why he's in talk. That's why AEWs are in talks with Goldberg. They know he's a draw. They know he'll get the eyes over to AEW, and that's why he's one of the people they're looking for. I've also heard Ryback, which I really hope that doesn't freaking happen. As for Stone Cold, again, he's from that era where they were loyal to Vince McMahon. They didn't make the jump to WCW when they could have. So I think anyone from that particular time period won't make the jump. Unless something happens with, and it goes back to the John Cena thing, unless something happens with Vince McMahon, there's a big fight, and then they kind of, go their separate ways, and Vince doesn't care what they do from now on, then we can see something maybe happen in AEW. Maybe not. Maybe AEW doesn't want The Rock. Maybe they don't want a guy like Stone Cold or John Cena. Maybe they want to do other things. But it doesn't stop them from taking a look at people and saying, okay, maybe we should go bring him in as Chris Jericho. He was from that era, but he's also cut ties to WWE, and he's also goes to Vince for a lot of things before he does stuff. Like he has conversation like, Vince, I'm going to go over to New Japan. Like, you're not going to be butthurt about it, right? Like, and they kind of have like a business mutual agreement that Jericho's going to do what he does best and do whatever he wants to do. For it to happen to a guy like Stone Cold, it's tough. It's really tough. I know Jericho was from that era, but I don't think he's in that category, to be honest. But other than that, I guess hope that answers your question.
Jimmy wrote me something before. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. So again, like this isn't like 100%, but Jimmy said that he had said something about Mike Tana from TNA might be on the commentary team along with JR.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is. I mean, he just like wrote me that. So
I can't see JR being full-time.
Yeah.
I can see him maybe appearing at pay-per-views, but I'm sure they're going to be looking for a brand new commentary team to when they get their television deal and they get a full-time commentary team, they're going to be looking for someone new. Unless JR wants to come back full-time. I'll give props to the guy, but as of right now, they're probably going to be looking for a brand new team for them to carry the brand. And when they do get a television deal going, probably won't be till next year. So we'll take it by year, right then, basically. Other than that, I don't have any other news. I don't think. Nope.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any other news. That was really it. We wanted to just touch base about them the Elite showing up last night, and the rumors of who make who's asking for releases. So again, if there's anything else, we'll report it later on a later date. Yeah, if you got once again, I guess we're gonna come to that wrapping up or whatever. But if you guys have any questions in the chat, or if you want to call in the show before we go off air, oh yeah, my glasses, yeah.
And glasses. I said she looks like either like a secretary or a librarian.
Hey, whatever, change it up today. So, but
it makes you look smarter.
Thank you. So yeah, we're just gonna like keep a lookout. Like again, like we're gonna, I'm sure you'll look out to see if anything AEW related is when you go to Phoenix. Maybe a rally.
I'll keep my ears peeled.
Keep your ears peeled with that. I mean, we got a couple of months of WrestleMania week. Me and Kyle will be together. Again, we're just going to NXT right now. Who knows? Something might pop up AEW wise. So
I think until we get like a good schedule going, especially with AEW, this is probably what it's going to be for the bulk of it until we get to like the pay-per-view times or there's like an announced show for AEW. We're not going to have a scheduled date to drop a podcast. It's just when there's a news comes out and we can get time to get together for a podcast, that's when they'll be released. That's why we stress that you guys follow the All Elite Pod on Twitter. So All Elite Pod, that's how you spell it. Follow us on there. You're going to want to follow the network, NHB Network on Twitter as well. So any network updates get posted on there. So keep an eye on that when we are going to be dropping a podcast. We will tweet there first before going live. Other than that, you can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. You can follow my co-host at Loves to Dream. And
82.
Yeah. 82. I always forget the number.
Yeah, 82. And also, we created Facebook as well. So if you guys want to follow us over there, it's All Elite Podcast. So give us a follow. You can ask us questions. Oh, speaking of, did we get anything on? I saw something on the Facebook.
Oh, I think Facebook.
Yes, the Facebook.
Facebook.
The Facebook.
Drop the. It's cleaner.
Facebook, excuse me. Okay, excuse my New Yorkness. Okay.
Movie quote for all you movie guys out there. Social Network.
All right. So Craig asks, "Can I still fight Bernard the Bear?"
I don't know. I'm not Bernard the Bear, so I'm gonna leave that up to you, Craig. You want to fly on over here, or if he's gonna fly on over there, you guys gonna have your match. Just make sure you tape it for us, and we gotta get it out to people. So just make sure you tape it. We'll get it out there. If you want to still fight the bear, I'm sure he still wants to go at it with you, man. But
and we're still keeping tabs with Bernard the Bear. Shout out to him. He was really amazing. And again, if you didn't see, we interviewed him for a little over an hour.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. So make sure you go check out No Holds Barred Network. See, I said it right. That all the interviews and all the old the first and second episodes. Brandy said you've been throwing shade left and right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think Cupid Girl said something earlier in the chat about Kenny Omega. Did you want to call in and talk about that?
Kenny Omega?
Yeah, she said something about Kenny Omega and signing with WWE or something. So again, his contract ends the 31st. Everything's on a hush hush. I don't know what's going on. I personally don't think he's going to go to WWE at all. I think, they all said that they were going to stick together. I think, Marty's throwing shade on Instagram a lot
that's
to fool
all,
everybody.
That's all planned. I can see that being such a work, but nah. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's all a work. I mean, again, I confirmed Marty's contract ends the end of April. So maybe he'll show up at Double or Nothing.
So the news with Kenny Omega, I pulled it up here, is Kenny Omega appears at the Tokyo Sports Awards ceremony and says he'll wrestle for a large international platform in 2019. I don't know if that means the WWE. I know that he turned down a large offer from the WWE, unless WWE is now countered, but with All Elite being bigger, with a bigger offer, meaning he'd be the most paid guy in the WWE. I don't know. It's tough. I guess he says that in his acceptance speech, he's addressed AEW, saying he can't tell anyone what the future holds, but since he has friends in the company, he wishes them luck and supports them. These indie guys, man, they know how to twist stuff around. I think I can't sit here and say that, okay, he's going to WWE. That means WWE. He's a large international company, WWE. That could be fake, guys. That could be just to get you thinking that he's going to WWE and then he'll show up at Double or Nothing. It could be just a ploy to, just like what the villain's doing. It could be just a ploy to just get,
I mean, there's, I talked about this one of the other episodes. My friend Brad brought this up, and he was like, they just made all these elite shirts. and Kenny Omega was part of that. Marty was part of that as well. So why would you make shirts like that and then all of a sudden like you're not gonna appear together?
Again, that's probably that's if it were to happen. Not saying it's happening. If it was happening, the only way that would happen is if the WWE has made a last-minute phone call to Kenny Omega saying, "Okay, we gave you this, we're gonna double it and give you that now. Do you want to come over?" And I mean, you can't say can't give shit to Kenny Omega if he accepts that. Who wouldn't accept that? Who wouldn't accept? Say you put yourself in Kenny Omega's shoes, where, like I said in previous episodes, in the back of his head, he's always wanted to go to the WWE. It's a dream of his. If that company offers you twice of what they first offered you, and it's a lot of money that's going to support you and your family for like a long time, why wouldn't you accept that? As much as you're thinking behind it.
It's about money. Well, that's how I feel. Sometimes it's not all about money.
That's where you hope. That's where you hope Kenny Omega is not all about money, and he's still going to stick with his friends and still go over to All Elite. And this could, again, like I said, this could be just a ploy to get you guys talking and get you guys off track here to thinking that he's actually going to WWE, and then he shows up in All Elite. So I'm not going to say anything. That's just going to be my opinion. I'll leave it at that.
Mike wrote in the chat, already got a suite with a jacuzzi reserved at MGM Grand for May 25th. That's exciting.
Ooh,
that's exciting. Are you going with a bunch of people? Like, make sure you follow us on Twitter and you can like send us some pictures as well. Cause me and Kyle don't know if we're going to be able to get down there. So please tag us and we'll put them up on the screen when you're there as well. So,
but like I said, we'll see. I can't sit here and say that Omega is for sure going to WWE. That's just, They do that. They do that. Yeah. They all do that. They've done it in the past. That's what they do. They know that people are watching the dirt sheets like crazy and waiting for stuff like this to leak just so they can jump all over and say, "Oh yeah, WWE right away." It says international big company 2019 for sure. He could be re-signing with New Japan. New Japan has become a global company.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. He said he wasn't. I saw that somewhere.
Like I just said it with WWE. Maybe New Japan came back and said, "Okay, we're going to pay you this now."
But things can change. So, I mean, we're going to keep a cool lookout. Again, like we said, we're not, weekly or what. We don't have a set date or whatever. But whenever we pull news and we're able to podcast, we will do it until we figure. Well, once they're on TV, like on a regular basis, I think that's when me and Kyle are going to have a set date. So right now we're just trying to update you on stuff that we've heard.
And then when pay-per-views are coming around, say we know a pay-per-view is going to be on a Saturday, we'll schedule, okay, Wednesday we're going to do the predictions. It'll be Wednesday at this time. We're going to do a big prediction show. And, maybe we'll do – I want to do contests with the pay-per-views. So we're still going to be in talks about doing contests for our show because I want to get you fans involved as much as possible. Maybe we'll do pick-em contests or something like that. But if you want to –
I haven't thought about that, so we'll talk about that another off-air. But
stay updated with us, guys. Make sure you follow the podcast on Twitter again at All Elite Pod. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. Follow my co-host at Loves to Dream 82. Make sure you follow the network at NHB Network on Twitter as well. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you go follow us on all the on-the-go platforms of Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. That's going to wrap it up, guys. I'm your host, as always, of the All Elite Podcast and the CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters. I'm always joined by my co-host on the show. She is Loves to Dream 82 on Twitter, the beautiful Tiffany, and I guess the librarian Tiffany today on the show.
Thank you.
Guys, make sure you are following the Twitter account to see the updates for Episode 5, and we're going to see you guys in the next episode.